Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and welcome to the Tuesday afternoon show. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a chat about the higher consciousness, navigating, awakening, and balancing in this shift. I know that a lot of you were expecting Val from Dragonfly Crystals to be here with me, but she is unable. We will reschedule for later on in the month because it is just phenomenal having her on the show. And I apologize about the mix up there, about the show, about having her on. I just noticed one of my candles is out. Let me see if I could get that. Because you got to have all the candles on. Here it is. How's that? Welcome everybody. Hi Mirror Dragon, Carolyn Loving Life. So if I would appreciate you guys if you want to provide feedback for the talk. That would be really great. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the energies that are coming on. And today is the full moon in Virgo, and it's the full lunar eclipse as well. So it's just there's a lot of energies going on out there. And when I'm on with Val, we talk about astrology and the fire horse. That's also new and different. All of the planets are now in Aries or beyond, and it's really what it means is that we're in changing times, and I think we all already know that. And I'm not doing any readings today, Garija, but thanks for asking. Mostly just a conversation about the higher consciousness. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about those energies and what to expect, because I did see somebody else comment. They said, well, did anything really happen on February 20th? Or was that just all hype? And we do get excited about these unusual, huge transformations in astrology. And what this is it's a good indicator and a good way to forecast that things are changing, and that big things are changing when it's those outer planets, the Saturn and Neptune. It's and I'm not going to talk astrology. I'm just referencing and what that means for us, in our everyday lives. That just means that the energy is no longer the same. The energy that used to be last week, last month, last year, last 20 years is not the same as moving forward. That the frequency and vibration, the availability to manifest, and the availability to connect to the higher realms with the loved ones, angels, spirit guides, all of this is becoming more available to us. And in a sense that I know a lot of you here have been on your path for a while, and you know that in the last 25 years, um, it's been, a little bit of a snail's pace. And then in the last 2 years, it has accelerated in such a fast pace that it's really hard to keep up with. But it's really important to stay grounded. And I know that we all want to go up and connect with the spirit guides, angels, and it's important to do that. And it's important to also stay grounded while we're doing that, because the benefit will only be here in this incarnation. We can leave our body, we can meditate and go on a journey, we can dream and go into astral planes, we can channel light language from the other realms. But we are living our consciousness is currently experiencing a human life here on earth. And what this is to bring this into this incarnation. All of that awareness, all of that knowledge, all of that access isn't anything unless we bring it into our awareness right here, right now, into this incarnation, and incorporate it into our life experience, if that makes any sense. And it's become more and more apparent to me. My spirit guides have always taught me about frequency and vibration. That chakra balancing, chakra healing is some of my strongest passions, and the auric field and learning about all of these, what they mean, what they connect to, what the potential is for all of us, and how this makes us uniquely empowered as humans. And that's really the key, is bringing it back to the humanity. And believe me, the next week I'm going to be like spirit guide angels, spirit guides angels, and higher realms. And I believe me, I love it. I love connecting. But what is most important is all of that guidance and all of that energy and all of that knowledge means nothing if we don't bring it into this incarnation, into our own life, into our own practice, into our own energy, and practice and move forward. It's almost, what did I say? You can live life consciously, as our consciousness, through our own consciousness. Be conscious. And that's the awakening. That's the consciousness. Be conscious. And not just conscious meaning unconscious, conscious being awake or asleep. It's this consciousness of being aware, this consciousness of being aware that we have, that of our total empowerment, of our sovereignty, and of our protection, and our potential, and it's through this awareness that we gain this consciousness. And I'm not saying 24/7. Believe me, it's a huge transition. It's a huge ask, and it's a huge task to change from one density to another. But I want you to know the amazing, miraculous, magical changes that are coming into this world, is coming into this world through you, through me, through all of us. And that's why it's so important for us to bring this into our physical experience. And it's not only physical, it can be energetic experience. We have an aura. We have a frequency and vibration. I know that I've been on this YouTube for like 5 years, and I've been saying it for 5 years, and everybody goes, oh, geez, there's Jean again with that frequency and vibration. She doesn't talk about anything else. It's because my spirit guides don't want me, not that they don't want me to talk about anything else, but they want me to express the importance and it's imperative that we understand that we have an energetic aura and an energetic quality that is our aliveness. And it's this energetic being that we are infinite, and we are empowered, and we are autonomous, and we are sovereign. And it's that energy, that embodiment of that consciousness. And the opposite of that, or the counterpart to that, is being in our ego. And what I mean by ego is that automatic, and not thinking, and not being aware, and that clouded and sheltered and um limited thinking, all of that kind of energy. And we come out of that, and it's almost like there's a new dawn. Oh, I can see now. I'm aware now. I can feel now. I can understand now. That makes more sense now. I remember now. Instead of just going through the the day-to-day, like on that hamster wheel, like, in the corporate life, you get up, you go to work, you pick up dinner, you come home, it and we all do work and we all do have routines, but it's how aware are we? How conscious are we? How much are we taking back our own power? And it's not about being in control, because control is an ego term, but it's about how we can be in our own power and choosing what it is that's best for us now and what's best for us tomorrow. And that's where our most of our empowerment comes from, is our choice and our free will. So let me see what you guys are saying. That was pretty deep. She said, Carolyn Loving Life is here. She said, got up 5 a.m. so I could go out and see the blood moon and eclipse, but not meant to be. It was so cloudy, the moon was completely obscured. Aw. I saw it on the TikTok. We're having rain and clouds and a really uh messy day here today. So I knew, but I was watching, they had it live on TikTok. It was pretty cool. There were several people that were live, and a lot of them were in the uh, California area, because I guess it was clear out there. But it was like 3 in the morning for them, and it was 6 in the morning for me. So, but it was neat. I didn't watch the whole thing. It's like watching paint dry, really. They're like it's 75% covered, or 70. I'm like, okay, that's great. I don't think I actually saw the red come through, but yeah. I mean, it is an amazing, to be able to see it, to witness it, because you don't always get to witness the eclipses, and it's not always a total eclipse. And for this to be a total lunar eclipse, and for the United States to be able to witness it, was, I think, monumentous as well. And Near Dragon, hi, nice to see you. She says, consciousness living is being grounded. Is it being grounded? Well, I don't know that it is, but part of being conscious and living consciously is remembering to be grounded. Because if we're living consciously, we're not only aware of all of our spirit guides and angels and our telepathic awareness and all of our sensitivities and all of our signs and synchronicities and communication, but it's also, like I said, all of that is meaningless unless we bring that into this life. And it's, some people might say, walk your talk. Oh, she doesn't walk her talk, and that's really what I'm saying in a nutshell. It's not only just practicing it and not only just saying it, but actually living it, embodying it, practicing it, and living by it and trusting it, you know? So I think it's part of being conscious, but I don't think, yeah, I think that's what you meant. It's part of being conscious. Um, you know, So Carolyn says, my most active times are while grounding in the deep still of the early morning. Wow. Very good. Very good. And it truly is. I mean, I feel as though there's not a responsibility, but in order for us to, or for me, maybe I should just talk about me. In order for me to find fulfillment in this life, it would be a waste for me to learn everything that I had to learn and not apply it to my own life, not try and embody all of the um, wisdom and energies that have been presented, taught, offered to us. And then if I don't do that, then how many others that I might have touched with my example, how many others would I not activate or not, you know, help on their own way? And that's really what my passion is for helping others. Hi, Mary Starshine, nice to see you. And Judith Albie, nice to see you. Cricket Legs is here, so nice to see you. How do you guys, the members are here. I have not update. Sorry, I have like a little hair in my eyeglass thing here. All of the members I had, if you were at the pendulum class, just this past Sunday, we had a wonderful class. It was a lot of information, and we didn't get to practice as much as I would have liked, but we did get some questions in. What I did is I offered a 30-day challenge outline for all of those who attended class, and then I sent through some of those bonus questions. So if you did attend class and you did not get the 30-day challenge or the bonus questions, please, and you want them, please do email me. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck this is. It's on my nose. Please do email me at sunpsychicjean@hotmail and let me know that you were in the class. And because some of you signed up, I have your emails, but some of you came in through membership, and I don't have everybody, all the members' emails. You don't have to provide an email for that. So I don't have everybody. So if you want the 30-day challenge and the bonus sample questions, or bonus questions, things to ask your pendulum, please do contact me and let me know, because it's a terrific resource, and I would love to see everybody continue on with their pendulum practice, because it's through practice, especially if you use it every day. I mean, it's only like a 5 or 10 minute thing that you can do, but it's it's a way for you to keep in connection with your pendulum. And not only with your pendulum, like I told you in class, it's not the pendulum you're connecting to, it's spirit that you're connecting to. It's just coming through your pendulum. But just imagine how much you can, leaps and bounds you can grow through the validation from the pendulum, and building your confidence and building your sensitivity to sort of, oh, I got a yes, but it's only a little yes. It's like maybe 50% yes, or you kind of learn the little nuances. And when you're learning the little nuances through using the pendulum, it's actually you're recognizing your own psychic skills, and how they're coming in. And what's most miraculous is how they change. One day they're just going to change, and you're like, huh? I don't have to do that anymore? You mean that is automatic? It's a lot of fun. So Kaya says, I was hearing a lot from my spirit guides last November, but I haven't heard much since. Well, those are the moments to be grateful for. And the moments that we don't hear our spirit guides would be integration, practice, use what it is that you've learned or heard, or write down, and be in gratitude, because it does come ebbs and flows. And I think it has a little bit to do with astrology, but I'm not sure. So, I have points in my progress in my spiritual path where I feel accelerated, and other times where I feel just like really not connected, not connected on a daily basis. But then there's other times where all throughout the day, I'm getting hits, and I'm getting messages, and I'm getting ideas. And before I even wake up out of bed, I'm thinking of all the things that I can do, because I'm being inspired. And when you're inspired, you're connected to your spirit guides as well. So I would say this is a time for integration, reflection, and making sure you're in your practice, and know that it's just a cycle. It ebbs and flows. So make sure you're ready for when it turns on again, and it will. It always does. Believe I understand. I understand that there is like this. It almost feels like a little bit of a void because it was like coming on so much, or you kept seeing numbers, or you kept seeing birds, and all these synchronicities were occurring. But now it's like I haven't heard anything. Yeah, that does happen, but it's not to worry. And hello to Garnet. Thank you very much for putting those blue jeans on for me. That's so cute. Aw, very nice. So, did you guys have any questions about what I was talking about? So, I wanted to talk about higher consciousness, navigating while we're going through this awakening. And does everybody know? I mean, and the awakening word or topic, or it's just a description that we choose to call it, and whatever it is for you. And for me, I like to use the word evolution, and it's human evolution, spiritual evolution, and um, it's about awakening. You can describe it like that. I also like to use the word awareness and consciousness. That really does go hand in hand, that you're not just going through the motions, and you're not oblivious to the energies around you. It just opens up your awareness. But it's also about balancing the changeover from being on that hamster wheel to walking in awareness and living, walking your talk, and that's really where the changeover is for me. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other way that I could maybe explain this to help you all understand just a little bit more. Um, It has to do with our chakras. It has to do with our auric field. It has to do with the earth. And it has to do with our light codes, our energy, there's like a crystalline DNA that we're being upgraded as humanity. We're being upgraded. And it's not necessarily upgraded, meaning better than, it's just more abilities will be accessible. And I said a long time ago, I said, this is a good one. I'll show you this one. I said a long time ago, I just lost my train of thought. What was I just saying? Let me see. So it's about our the activation, it's about having our own ability to reference and to utilize these skills and these energies within this incarnation. And a long time ago, earlier in my development, my spirit guides told me, and how interpreted it was that in this in this incarnation or lifetime, we have the ability to access past lives, parallel lives, alternate lives, to resource the wisdom that we achieved, gained, learned in those other lifetimes, it to bring that resource, that wisdom, that experience, and bring that forth in this lifetime so that we have that as a resource. And through this awakening, awareness, and being able to access things, our past lives and our past experiences that we've learned from and gained that knowledge from are also available to us. And this is what I feel. And they said it to me as past lives, but now that I'm going through it and moving through this different frequency, I feel like it's the activation is activating what is already here right now. This, our body, our energy. What, you know how they, some people say you only use 10% of your brain, well, the amount of power and the amount of abilities that we have been using have been very minute. And the activation, they call it a crystalline activation, to open up those abilities and open up that access to that information and those qualities, or um, abilities and um, information. So the more that we can connect, and it's almost like a remembering. So when we become conscious, when we become aware, these abilities turn on through an activation. It's an energetic activation. Some say it comes from the central sun. Some say it comes from all those sun flares. Some say it comes from when the astrology moves in a certain point. And I think all of that is true. Some say it depends on us when we become not mature enough, but when we have learned our lessons in the egoic 3D world, and we about life, about love, about hurt, and that we're able to reconcile and heal those lessons, and use those lessons as wisdom, as empowerment. This enables us to get our energy ready for this new information, for this new activation, for this new, not just activation, but the ability to access more, to manifest, to connect to our spirit guides, angels, to really have more, not control, have more empowerment, have more direction about our own lives and our choices in this life. And I know that we're all going through a time where we feel like we don't have a lot of choice. And this is happening for a reason, because it's not going to be that way anymore. And this is like the last hurrah. But let me see. Let me see what you guys say. I don't know what that means. Hi, John Turner. Okay. Garnet, I don't know who Adam's-esque sword that hangs over our heads by a hair tread. I don't know. Might be a name, the wrong name. I'm not sure I know what that is. What's the relation of incarnations and parallel lives? So, let me just give you how I understand it. So, incarnations that keep when I used to say this lifetime, this life, and they say, Jean, it's all life. Like it's the the earthly experience. I used to call the earthly experience life in our lifetime. And they're like, no, it's this incarnation, because life is continuous. Life never dies. The opposite of, the opposite of death is not life. The opposite of death is birth, because life is always, we're alive here on earth, we're alive on the other side, we're alive in all of our other incarnations, in our other lifetimes. So whenever I used to try and say the word this lifetime, this life, they're like, no, Jean, this incarnation, because they wanted us to know that it's not just a lifetime. It's that we have a soul that incarnates in different experiences, in different ways. And it's this incarnation. So that's why I use that word so much. And parallel lives is just a term to understand that where another life might be. It would be an alternate life, or some people say past life, some people say parallel life, but there's no before and there's no after. It's all now. So the parallel life wouldn't be simultaneous, which the name parallel suggests that it's simultaneous. It just is an alternate, or another, or a different lifetime, another lifetime, a alternate lifetime. But it doesn't always have to be parallel, means at the same time. And whenever you use time, that's when they correct me. They're like, there's no time. There's no time, Jean. It's an incarnation. It's not a lifetime, because life is consistent. The opposite of death is not life. The opposite of death is birth. Okay? There's birth, there's death. When we die, we birth into the afterlife. And when we incarnate, we birth into a new life. It's a constant birth, birth, birth. We don't ever die. Energy never dies. Souls never die. We continuously go onward. Does that make sense? And I'm glad you asked that question. I hope that makes sense. Let me just see. So thank you, Mir Dragon, for asking that question. That was a good one. I meditate a few times a day, can feel when I'm vibing in my higher frequency. Good. I wish it was constant. Well, be careful what you wish for, because it can be intense and it could keep you up all night. I've also been practicing with my pendulum. Good job. Good job. Cricket Legs, did you come to the class? Because I don't remember your first name. You may have come, if you were there at the, it's okay. If you were at the pendulum class, just let me know, because I don't know your first name. Jean, how far back in Akashic Records can we go? Can we access further back than Atlantis and Lemuria? Yes, you can go all the way back into the actual spark of creation. That's how far back you can go. Good question, Mary Starshine. And I'm saying that with confidence, with my eyes wide open, without any explanation, because I have experienced that connection of a spark of consciousness, the creation of a galaxy or of a universe. It's possible. It's definitely possible. You would not believe the places I've been and the things that I've seen, Mary. And I just wish I had like a tape recorder so that to go back and remember all these amazing things. And I do. I need to write down all of my experiences as they occur so that I have them together. Carolyn said, my most difficult thing is to quiet my mind enough to listen. Still a work in progress. Yeah. The monkey mind is that ego. And being able to quiet that down. And it's not about quieting it down. Sometimes, Carolyn, it's that busy mind. It's about, having to get the keys and put them on the hook so I don't forget when I walk out. It's all that other busy stuff. But sometimes there's a little story going on, and the story is from spirit. And the story is about a loved one that is passed, or the story is about, you being in a certain place. So, and Carolyn, you know about the meditations, the guided meditations I do in the beginning of our psychic study practice group. And maybe, I mean, would anybody like it if I don't know, it's hard. I was going to say maybe I can do like a meditation or kind of a group and learning and maybe answer question and answer. It's not, meditation is not having nothing in your mind. It's about letting go of the ego, of the judgment, of the responsibility, of the criticalness. And it's about going through the imagination. So if you can write a story about a little girl named Carolyn and then just create the story, you're in your meditation, because your meditation is used with your creative mind, and it's very good to be in silence so that the silence allows the creativity to come through. But with a lot of monkey mind, it's almost like you have to keep your creative mind busy so that your monkey mind doesn't continue. Because I know if I'm at a table and nobody is saying anything, I start talking because I can't stand it that nobody's talking, you know? But it's okay. It's okay to have that silence and to be comfortable in that silence. So, you know how sometimes some of the psychics either scribble on a piece of paper when they are getting messages from spirit? It's to let their ego mind, analytical mind, or monkey mind know that, oh, Carolyn's busy creating, doing art. So I don't need to be in this. She's creating right now. So this creative mind, this spiritual access is free to move into the forefront, you know, and to take the lead. That's what I have. So it's okay, and maybe you can distract yourself with like, even if you're doing knitting or needlework or artwork, or you know, anything where you can daydream in a repetitive, even if you're vacuuming the floor, you can meditate when you're vacuuming the floor, because it's a mindless thing, and it's being mindless, and that sound and maybe music, maybe drumming might help you with your quieting your mind. It really does have to do with the focus and where you focus, but it doesn't always mean you have to have no words or no thoughts. It just means you don't get the ego thoughts or the ego judgment. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to keep, I think you get it. Hi, Lisa Davies. Nobody's late. We're all on time. And Dawn Turner. Oh, it's the Sword of Damocles. Wow. I'll have to look that up. Thank you, Dawn. It's the Greek. You think it's Greek for some reason. Dawn, he says, yes, you've got it. Wow. Oh, somebody, now I'm going to have to go down a rabbit hole. See, Garnet, what you did? I'll have to figure that out. I don't think I've heard of that, but I may have heard of the story and not known the name. Do you believe some of us are here as light workers? Absolutely. I don't believe it. I know it. It's not a belief. It's a know. It's a confirmation for sure. Here. So, spirit guide, is now a good time to ask questions. Let me just get this out of the way. It's a little cold here today, so I have like 3 shirts on. Spirit guides, is now a good time to ask questions? Yes. All right. Thank you. Are there any humans that are on Earth? Are any of us light workers? Are any of us light workers? Are any of us starseeds? Are any of us starseeds? And starseeds and light workers, and I think that it's just the terminology, but see, we're starseeds for sure. Okay, so I said any of us. Can you? Is it appropriate to interchange light workers and starseeds? Are they the same thing? Not exactly. Are any of the humans here on Earth light workers? Okay, now it's saying yes. And is 5% of the population of the world, of the human population, are they light workers? It's like vibrating a little bit and it's moving into yes. It's almost like calculating to do the math. Okay, it's saying yes. And is 10% or more of the population, um, of the human population, light workers? Is 10% or more of the population? Yes. Is 40% of the human population considered light workers? And then it's saying around, yeah, it's going in a round circle. Well, I hope you guys can see that. It's going in a little bit of a round circle, but yeah, it's we are here. We are here for sure. Hi, y'all, beautiful souls. Hi, Ruth Ann Banana. That's nice. Ruth Anna Banana. I think that's what it is. Nice, nice name. I love that name. Lisa Davies says it can be very difficult to wrap your head around it all. And it is difficult, but it's not imperative. We don't have to understand it all. We don't have to know it all and organize it all and study it all and remember it all. It's really, and it's a lot of it is beyond the human uh, frame of reference. So if you could make something up and like, you know, in a faraway land, there was a, a, a village, and in this village they had, and sort of put it in a perspective that you can accept it or understand it, and try and force it into here and now. Try and work on it as a concept outside and then integrate it. So it is difficult to articulate, to put into human terms because of our limited, um, thinking, our limited resources. But the more that you study and the more that you listen and the more that you get messages from your own spirit guides, and believe me, I have learned from my own spirit guides and from your loved ones a great deal, a great deal. I have learned from teachers a lot, and it's really you work together with a teacher. You don't follow exactly what that teacher is teaching you. The teacher is guiding you and telling you what their experience is, and you can either resonate with some, and anything that you don't resonate, you leave. And it's about you walking your own path and your own truth, and it's a little bit different for everybody. So if you can't swallow all of that, like if you can't swallow that some ET hybrids are living on Earth, and that just blows your mind, it's not important for you to have that understanding or reality in your world. Just say, huh, how about that? And keep going. It's not, you don't have to hang on to it and keep it juggled and keep it compartmentalized. If it resonates for you, if it's helpful for you, then keep it in your consciousness and keep it in your practice. But if it's something that is like really, a lot of ET stuff is too much for people to ingest at this time. So, and it's okay just to acknowledge that there's that possibility, or that that knowledge out there, that resource out there, and just move on. You know what I mean? It's not a crash course. It's not, there's no failing. You can live, you can live here on top and have all of this deep information underneath, and only go down to the information every once in a while and live this way, and then go down into the deeper information. It's not necessary to hold it all into your existence or into your energy, because it's a lot of energy. But and you don't It's okay if you don't understand it right now, because maybe it's not time. And I know that people used to say that to me. I'm like, what do you mean it's not time? If I heard it, I'm supposed to learn it. But it's about perspective and absorbing the information. And I have been like on a spiral. And I don't know if you guys saw my new earrings. You know where I got them? I went to the 80s and got them at the 80s. They look like 80s earrings. But it's uh it's about it's about taking what is most important for you to work on today and leaving the rest on the back burner. You know what I mean? Doesn't all have to be activated all at the same time. It's a lot of energy. And you won't forget it. And it'll come back around. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was first awakening, all that stuff was happening. I didn't understand what it was. But now, a year or two later, now I see what that was. Oh, I understand it. So it's not something that you have to grasp every concept. It's just like, and then move on. I hope that's helpful, Lisa. Um, yep, they got it too. Yep. Oh, you're welcome, your dragon. Thank you for the question. Hi, Annie's Gifts. So Lisa says, is anyone else feeling like there's a tug of war going on between your guides and your galactic family? And would it be they're competing for your attention? Maybe it'd be a good, maybe if you want to contact me for a consultation, I can help you out um, with like a mentoring kind of a session. And only if you feel like you're ready. So Ruth Anna Banana says yes to a meditation group. It's hard being a human. It is. This is the school of hard knocks, and it's um, it's about letting go, because if and it is. It's not easy, but it's important to let go and to trust. And the less burden, the less baggage, the less responsibility that you hold on to for everything happening in the world, is makes your life just a little bit more peaceful. So practice those little, letting it go and being patient, and tomorrow's another day, and you know just those really wise um, teachings that we've heard along the way. They make more sense as we hear them. I don't know if anybody is on Instagram, but I do, if you don't mind me saying, I do put a lot of really interesting and imperative quotes up. And it says, no one changes. One example is, no one changes unless they want to. Not if you beg them, not if you shame them, not if you use reason, emotion, or tough love. There is only one thing that makes someone change: their own realization they need to do it. And there's only one time that it will happen. They need to decide that they are ready. And talk about it being tough. If you've released that responsibility of causing or wanting somebody else to change, um, that will bring you peace. Some of the hard things is because we want to be in control of other people's actions, or other people's decisions, or other people's life. And it's not in our control. It's our own control of our own life, and leading by example, and trusting, and raising the vibration, and all of those things. It does bring you peace. And the more peace that you have, the more peace that you will share. The more peace that you will share, the more peace there will be. Just a consideration. Carolyn said, thank you for the clarification. I didn't realize the stories I'm playing in my head could be spirit. Carolyn, girl, we got to talk. I know, right? And it's not, yeah. As long as it's not judgment, analyzing, saying, "Oh, I have to get that milk and I have to put it on the counter and then I have to go outside," and all of that stuff is responsibility. And or I should have told somebody else then that I needed their number and I never told them. All of that is like, it's busy talk. It's busy. It's busyness. If you are creating and wandering and dreaming, that is part of spirit coming in and telling you a story. Write it down. Say, when I was meditating today, I was thinking of walking on clouds and stars on the Milky Way, and trying to understand what they're trying to tell you. They come in symbolically, using symbols. But Carolyn, you have, or if you didn't know, you do have psychic skills and abilities, and this may be how it's coming in for you. But I'm so glad that you're able to just consider that, and then you can be a little bit more aware of them. And what I do when I meditate is I record it, because I speak out loud if I'm seeing something, feeling something, because I do get a lot of downloads and a lot of information. So I do record it. And I allow myself to go with spirit on a journey, and my journey. So, but you can try that. Try that. Meditation has been needed so much lately, more than usual. I feel so anxious. Aw. Meditation, I really want to encourage everybody to start with that chakra meditation, chakra aligning and chakra balancing. And it's really the key, or the beginning for me, because it allows us to become more aware of the energy source that is within us, grounding us, centering us, focusing us. And not only that, but with our own intention, we activate and balance our own chakras so that we're working optimally with our energy and frequency and energy. And then from there, we can move forward. So if you begin with that chakra meditation, if you begin with 3 deep breaths, and it's just a little 10-minute meditation, if you can get a guided meditation, you can start going through it yourself. It helps to get things started, grounded, and it brings you into that relaxed state. And then when you go into meditation, it's so much smoother, because when you go to sleep, you don't eat a 7-course meal and jog a 5-mile run and then get into bed and try and go to sleep. No, you have to relax, calm down, digest, get a shower, and then go to bed. It's about preparing ourselves for that, and not just like going into another room and sitting down and saying, okay, now meditate. There is a process to it. There is and we all find our own process. Maybe you do run, maybe you meditate while you're running, but whatever your process is, as long as it's bringing you centered, aligned, balanced, focused, and relaxed, this is the goal. And then we can get into that meditation and receive information and receive guidance and receive frequency and receive energy. It's all of those. Sometimes there's no information. It's just a feeling. Sometimes it's just a vibration or a frequency. And sometimes they're the sweetest. Annie's gift said, gee, now you sound like me. Oh my gosh. I just have to say something when it looks too quiet. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I think I'm really far behind you guys. I'm going slow. Garnet. Mary Starshine. Let me just go. MLR is here. Many more light workers than starseeds. Sorry, you guys. Hey, Dora. Dora is here. Dora knows. It's hard balancing and doing the work and relaxing enough to let it happen. Welcome to my world, Carolyn. It is. It's hard to balance. It's not easy to balance, but with practice, with intention, with choice. The choice is where our power is. Just keep keep uh, keep striving for that goal, and you'll be like, oh, I'm already doing it. Alexander Quinn, Starseed last night. He's talking about disclosure. I don't know who that is. Oh, yeah, I do. I know Alexander Quinn. He there was something else he put out a while back, a few months back, that I thought was profound. I'll have to check that out. Mary Starshine, if you know my email address, or can you email me that link to the particular one that you're talking about? I'd appreciate it. It's just on psychicgene.com if you want. And Kelly McCall is here. Okay, Judith left, had to be back. Sorry. Yeah, Adam, I'm not taking personal questions. We're just having like a little chat about higher consciousness, navigating, awakening, and balancing the shift. My clock is fast. Oh. I'm laughing because it drives my husband crazy. I have to, or else I don't I have a really pet peeve about people who are late. So I know that if I look, I feel like I'm gonna be late, and then by the time I sit down and turn on the computer, I still have 5 minutes. I can trick myself if it's only 5 or 10 minutes. I can't trick myself. I know I'm like, okay, then I have to add the 15 minutes if it's 15. But in my car, I do like 2 or 3 minutes, and here I do like 5 or 6 minutes. I know. I put it that way so that when I glance or I'm walking from one room to the other, I'm like, oh, I got to hurry up. I'm on a schedule. I do work on a schedule. I'm often, I have to be at a certain place or be with a certain person at a certain time. Obviously, when I do shows and when I do readings. So she said, so true. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what that was about, Mary. So Sue Helen is here. Hi, Sue. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet. Oh, Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot is here. Guess what, you guys? I'm going to be on with Scott in just about 1 hour. Scott and I will be together, and it is going to be a show. I am so excited. I'm so looking forward to being together with Scott and hopefully Wisdom Seeker Joan. Wisdom Seeker Joan has wasn't sure she'd be able to make it, but Scott and I will definitely be there a little bit later today at 4:30. And if Scott wants to, maybe we can get on a few minutes early and surprise everybody. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Scott. It means so much to me. It really means a lot. You're so sweet. Yep, Garnet, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Yep, that's a really good one. And I've used it. And it helps you to realize that you can't control what other people do, say, or decide, or live, or don't do. Yeah. Gary for Grace is here. Let me see. Tuning forks. Ooh, tuning forks help me to quiet my mind and focus within. Sound, frequency, vibration. Sound and color, frequency and vibration. And I used to say it's a drinking game, but now I'm going to say you get a nickel for every time you say frequency and vibration, because it really does come. We're all energy, and energy is frequency and vibration. So if we work with tuning forks, if we work with crystal bowls, if we work with, Crystals are frequency and vibration. Color is frequency and vibration. Natural foods, especially root vegetables, right, are frequency and vibration. And that's a really good trying to find the similarity between all of those items that have frequency and vibration. Hi, Lois T. Hi, Lois T. You're not too late because you made it, right? But it is, I see that I am coming up on an hour and I want to save my energy for Scott, Scorpio, Sun, Tarot, and I will be together. Let me just make sure what time it is. Let me just make sure because it's my channel, but it says 4:30. So it's at 3:33 right now. That's an angel number. So yeah, and we'll be on later on today. And if we can come on 5 minutes ahead, 5 minutes early, we can. So make sure you come on and get lined up, right? Hey, Jackie Jacaranda, how did you like the pendulum class? And email me so that I can email you back. I don't have your email. If you want the 30-day challenge that allows you to practice your pendulum for 30 days, it's not hard, it's easy, it's quick. And the sample questions are really good. The sample questions are really good. I like them. I don't want to give them away to everybody, but I might tell you some of them. Yeah, MLR. I have been in a non-private Airbnb for over a year. Talk about not always being able to relax, a challenge I hadn't intended taking on. Maybe you can go outside in nature. I mean, maybe not right now if it's, snow on the ground or whatever, but yeah, no, I know. Maybe go in the bathroom. Maybe I did a I did a private reading. Honestly, I'm going to have to find that. I'm going to have to find that because you guys won't believe me. It was somebody, and I'm sure they're not watching anymore, but it was somebody who was in Scotland, and um, she had a very thick, well, a very thick accent. And Scotland or Ireland, I can't remember. I think Scotland though. And was it was a private reading and she was on Zoom and she was on her phone. And she was on her phone and she had her hair slicked back. And so she was talking to me and I was like, the what? And she says the moon. And, I don't know. I couldn't understand anything she said. And it's kept echoing. And I said, where are you? And she says, I'm in the butt. And I'm like, you're in the what? I'm in, and she didn't even call it. She was trying to tell me she was in the bath, in a bath. And I'm like, you're in a what? And I couldn't figure out what she was saying. And here she was in the bathtub in water because she was meditating, connected to me during a private reading on video and recorded because her husband and kids don't leave her alone unless she's in the bathtub, unless she's in the bathroom. And she couldn't tell her husband that she was getting a psychic reading because they're very religious there and they don't believe in psychics, and she needed the reading. And so she was in the bathtub and she said she had to run the water and be in the bathtub for them to leave her alone. So, you know what, MLR? Get in the bathtub. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that is dedication. I'm honored. I'm honored that you would be in the bathtub with, it was a really, after I got what she was saying, I was really had a difficult time understanding her. She did try and say things differently. And I said, can you spell it? I mean, it was really hard to understand her. She had a real thick accent. Yeah. 1 hour exactly. Yeah. Scott said 1 hour exactly. Beat me up, Scott. Oh, that's cute. Aw, you're so sweet, Jackie. I washed it. She says your hair looks pretty today. I just washed. I have it in this little because it's too heavy to pull all the way back, so I had to pull it on the side, and I put the clip back here instead of the clip on the top of my head. I like, and it's like sort of this way. But thank you, Jackie, for noticing. It's just getting too long and too heavy. Um, Yep. Lois said the 30-day challenge is going to be fun. Good, Lois. I hope you got it. And she said, I love the pendulum class. I will email you. Good, good. I hope you do. Um, oh, yeah. Adam says, Jean, I like your unicorn statue. That is one of my favorite. I mean, that's why I put him in a prominent section because that is one of my favorite finds. I was in a secondhand shop and um, I go in and I buy tablecloths, secondhand tablecloths because of my trade shows or my, the psychic fairs. I always need one for the Halloween, one for Christmas, one for, whatever time of year it is, I get a different tablecloth. And instead of, I just go to the secondhand shop and pick up different colors. And I was walking by one of the aisles and I saw that. And I stopped in the track and I was actually doing unicorn readings that whole week, like that whole month. I did like 2 or 3 shows of unicorn readings. And I couldn't believe it that it just manifested there. And as soon as I saw it, it was like there was a bright light around it, like, oh, like I knew that was for me. And I knew that my spirit guides or that the unicorns gifted me that to take home with me. And I was just absolutely thrilled. It is in pristine condition. It was like 4.99 or something. It was very inexpensive. It is vintage. It's not what's the other word? I don't know. Like 100 years. It's not antique. It's a vintage. It's not antique, but vintage is like more than 25 years, I think. So, and I think it comes from the 80s, which is quite a while ago. Um, oh, good. Annie's gift said she did that a time or two in the bathtub when you couldn't get away from anybody. Not only that, but it's a really good place to meditate and to connect to your spirit guides. Water is a conductor of energy. And that's why when you are doing washing dishes, you get like intuitive hits or reminders and stuff, or think, oh, I have to call that person. I forgot. It's a conductor of energy when you have your hands in water. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the poor woman in the bathtub. I know. Oh well, it's a private bathroom when you're in there, aren't? Isn't it? Isn't it private while you're in it? Poor MLR. Butterfly Readings is here. Nice to see you, Linda. Good, good. You have a huge brass unicorn and a Pegasus. Yep. I just got my new sheets today, walked them up and put them in the bed, the real linen sheets. Ooh, yeah, I've heard of that. Why not, right? The energy. I've been using a grounding mat that it's on my feet right now. My feet are on it under my desk here. And I would talk about, guys, I'm very much a proponent of secondhand things. I got it on eBay and it was on auction, and the auction started at $5, and then I bid, and you can say you'll go up to, and I said, I'll go up to $10. I got it for 750. It said you won the auction at 750. So they shipped it to me. It was a good buy. It was a good buy. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Um, oh wow. MLR just found a white buffalo statue at the thrift shop. I connected with White Buffalo Catwoman, so that's what I thought you were saying there. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Good. Good. Well, I know this got off topic a little bit, but I've been on for a little over an hour. But I wanted to come on and talk about navigating the awakening, talk a little bit about higher consciousness and balancing the shift. And I just want to thank you all for being here and for participating. It really made it so much pleasant and enjoyable, me being here on my own. And I always love to have a guest, but you guys are great. I love your support. And I will be back again with Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot. If anybody is interested in getting a reading from me, you can just go to my website, which is sunpsychicgene.com. I'll show you. This is sunpsychicgene.com. It says it up here. And right on the very first page, when you come in, is all of my readings. You'll see the different ones. And then if you would like to contact me, you can contact me through the next item here is Contacts on Psychic Gene. And then the next place you can check out, and I have to take this off. This was the Pendulum class from last Sunday. I have yet to take it down. I'll have to do that right now. And the next event I have coming up is our Psychic Study Practice Group on Sunday, March 29th. And you see I have all my March, April, May, June. I have all of them listed here as well, just so you guys know what the dates are. I'm going to be I have 2 more events that are coming up. I don't know if they're going to be in March, but April and May I have coming up. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to make them affordable. If you are a member, many of my events, not all of them, many of my events will be included. Like if you're a member, the Pendulum class or the Pendulum event was included in the membership, but the Psychic Study Practice Group is half price. So I will give the members only a half price coupon that they can use if they're interested, because not as many of you want to come to the Psychic Study Practice Group. But the fun things where it's more of a social thing, I like to include it at no additional charge. I say that because I know a lot of you are paying for your membership, so it's no additional charge. That's why I say it like that. Yeah, and I love all of my icons. Look at all my sacred geometry. All the colors. You guys know what I like. All right. Well, I don't want to bore you. So thank you very much, everybody. I really enjoy hanging out with you, and I'm looking forward to getting together with Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot in just a few minutes or in less than an hour. And I hope to see all of you there. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.